Fáilte Roth Quig on Ames Awards 2024. We are here live from the Gleneagle INEC Arena in the beautiful Killarney, County Kerry. My name is Cian O'Dowd, and I am joined, as always, by the exhilarated Adam Trundle and Daniel Ryan for what is an absolutely bumper Ames Awards. Now, 100%. I say the beautiful Killarney. This weekend has been a bit of a washout. It has dampened the barbecue section, the infamous barbecue section of the Ames Awards, but it has not dampened spirits.
Not one bit. No, not one bit. No, it's been a busy time at the Ames Awards so far this weekend. They're calling it the wristbands say the Ames Festival. And there is certainly a festival atmosphere this year.
It has that festival vibe. It really does. It does. Everyone's starting to pile into the hall here. The temperature is already rising. It's going to be an unbelievable night. I can feel it already.
Yes, 100%. I think
it's true, and yet I never wear better quality fabric, despite how warm it is. Yeah. Well, I said bumper event. We are here at the biggest Ames Awards in history. Maybe you haven't been able to secure a ticket to the hottest musical theatre event of the year, but we are going to do our best to give you the feeling of being right here in the INEC Arena tonight. Of course, if you want to get in touch with us, please do by messaging us directly on the Oddcast by Odd Theatre on Instagram or Facebook, or at the Oddcast by Odd on the formerly named Twitter. Now X.
The artist formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. And you can have your words immortalized on the eventual YouTube stream of this. But give us a shout. We'll give you a shout out. Bumper event, 1,440 people here tonight. Usually we have the balcony to ourselves, apart from the very able crew around here. Yeah. But this year, we're being infringed upon by diners left and right. Yeah. I see
we have Athlone Musical Society to our immediate left over here. They've taken up 3 or 4 tables, all on their own, as well as I think Bravo and is it Castlereagh, I believe. Yeah. We had a little snoop earlier of our immediate neighbours, and we have Mitchelstown and Muse, I think, over to our right.
I think so, yeah.
We're being invaded, as you say, infringed upon up on the upper level of the INEC.
But the one good thing is that literally just out of shot basket of bread rolls.
Oh yeah,
we'll be right there, and that's the main thing.
So the event giveth, the event taketh away.
Honestly.
But one thing that the growing attendance of this event speaks to is just how much musical theatre in Ireland is growing, how 100%. Much the awards scheme is growing, how much more popular it is becoming. I mean, in the years that I suppose all of us have been involved in musical theatre, you know, I suppose, what does it mean to be part of such a huge growing community?
Yeah, I mean, like there's over 100 societies now every year putting on at least one show a year each. In some cases it's 2. So you kind of, you know, for the course of the Ames season, there is not a week that goes by there is not a musical on stage in a theatre or a school hall or, you know, any sort of a venue you can imagine somewhere in the country. It really speaks to the sort of the popularity and the enduring popularity of musicals in this country.
Yeah, no, it's huge, and it's lovely to come down here, you know, every year, because I think when you do your own shows, or you might go see a few shows during the year. But, you know, I mean, we talked about this already. Like, you know, we saw maybe about 8 shows this year. Yeah. I think that's a drop in the ocean. Yeah. The amount of shows that are here tonight that are
less than 10%.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's amazing when you think of that.
Yeah, and I was delighted with my 8, and then I was talking to Dara Carroll, and he has seen 33, 34, and even he is still only at a third of the shows.
Yeah, like it's crazy, but it's a lovely, I don't know, kind of feeling. It's lovely. You come down here and you really get a sense of like, God, you are part of something that spans the entire length and breadth of the country, and it's just really special to be here. Really,
absolutely,
it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think we're getting some runners across the camera stream there, but
hopefully they're running for our bread baskets.
I mean, they heard
it is quite possible. But obviously, a huge event is reflected as well in the fact that while we're growing, we're also growing in award categories, because we have a brand new category this year, Best Youth Performer.
Yes, we do indeed. And we have, within that category, we have one young man who secured not one but 2 nominations, one in each of the categories, one Gilbert, one Sullivan. Shout out to Cian O'Dowd. But of course, he is not the only nominee. We have got a very long list of 6 nominees across the 2 categories. We've Paul Nestor, who played Pugsley in Clane, the Addams Family. And we had, as I mentioned, Sean played Oliver down in Limerick. And we had Layla Rose O'Shea, who also played Pugsley with Agatha. So, we have a lot of Pugsleys and Olivers across the 2 categories, evident of the enduring popularity of the Addams Family and Oliver, and sort of, the ability for a young performer to really elevate a show, because we've all seen school shows, we've all seen musical theatre shows where kids are involved, and sometimes you're like, wow, that's a star in the making there. It is quite nice to be recognising that tonight.
And who's over on the Sullivan side of the house?
So in this section then we have James Cullinan is playing Flounder with Shannon. We have Ronan Harney playing Oliver with Galway. And again, Sean O'Callaghan playing Jojo, this time with Cool Mine. So not content with one nomination. Honestly, kids these days, honestly.
Yeah, I know, they want it all. They want it all. But obviously Irish musical theatre has given rise to a number of people going across the water to either the West End or to Broadway or maybe further afield for professional work. And now we have an award category which, of course, recognises their first steps into
performing
this art form.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, even one of the nominees for Best Musical tonight is Michael Collins, and that was previously nominated in a production that featured Jessie Buckley.
Exactly.
Who's, of course, gone on to Oscar nominations and Olivier Awards, and has been in several, high-profile musical theatre productions as well as non-musical theatre productions. So it is good to see.
And who's to say one of the young persons, or maybe more of them on that list, might get their names up in lights further afield. One of the things, of course, that is remarkable about tonight is that it's the 20th anniversary of these awards being held right here in the INAC arena. Obviously, this place has become very synonymous with musical theatre and a bit of a musical theatre home away from home. It's a fabulous venue, and it feels like the awards have gotten more technically developed, more entertaining, more exhilarating as we've gone on through the years.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just the Oddcast being added into the mix.
Absolutely.
Self-praise is no praise.
It's a huge operation. I mean, if you could see the crew that are working tirelessly here, it is a full-scale operation. But, it's very reflective of, I think, even when people go to see all the shows around the country, I certainly know anybody who comes to see a show and they're not into musicals and they might only get to see 1 or 2 a year, and that they're like, God, it's so professional, it's so slick. And I think it's just equally matched, like it makes no difference. And I'm pretty sure anybody who wouldn't be into it would turn up here and be like, this is such a huge operation. Like,
well, I am just getting word that we are about to kick off this evening. So please stay tuned, send your messages in to us and enjoy the show. We'll see you soon. Here at the INAC Arena in Killarney, as you can see, as we've had the opening of our celebrations tonight. Yes. So we started off with an address from our president, Fergal Kavanagh, and from the president of our sister organisation in Britain, NODA, Christine Hunter-Hughes. Christine Hunter-Hughes definitely reading the room well in suggesting that this is not the time for long speeches.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think everybody is excited for their dinner, excited to settle the nerves and hear all the award winners. So absolutely,
she's been around us probably only a short time, but she knows all about it. She knows what we like.
That's stagecrafted work, let me tell you. And then, of course, some wonderful news for 2 aspiring performers, Katie Lennon and Ellie Rose Ward, recipients of bursaries to the American College in Dublin. Of course, a lot of people, young people from this island, choose to, go abroad, be it to the UK or the States or wherever. But it's great to have a school of musical theatre training right here in Ireland, and to have a bursary to allow them to do that.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it is always one of the things that Ames does every year that I think is like so important. We talked about the Young Performer Award. This is an even more clear step of sort of rewarding and incentivizing young performers to take it to the next level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's just another, I suppose, layer to what Ames have done all along, and what they're really doing of promoting young performers and providing many avenues for them to try and take it further as a career, which is just fantastic to see.
And I think sometimes some of the other aspects of what this association does can be missed, because maybe at times we have a bit of a myopic focus on the awards themselves.
Absolutely.
But you think about the bursaries, the summer school. There are a lot of avenues to cultivate and engender strong musical theatre performances.
Absolutely.
It would be remiss of me to leave without touching on some touching scenes here in, as you saw on stage, Moira Nolan, Baldoyle's own Moira Nolan, picking up the Mary Kelly Award for Unsung Hero. Obviously, look, Moira, stalwart of Baldoyle, but also Ames National Treasure for many years as well.
Yeah. Very popular result in the room. I mean, we couldn't see it on the screens, but a full standing ovation. Everyone, it was really lovely to see. And like you said, definitely some. It's hard not to get a little bit emotional, you see people who are just so lovely, and they just give their time so willingly. It's just fantastic to see them, honoured in this way, and a huge congratulations to Moira. So deserved, so well deserved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, look, as I said, we are just kicking off here in Killarney. Don't go away. Remember, you can be part of the conversation by getting on the Ames24 hashtag. That's Ames24 on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, and you can message us directly by messaging at the Oddcast by Odd Theatre on Instagram or Facebook, or at the Oddcast by Odd on the artist formerly known as Twitter. We are about to go and partake of some dinner, but we are going to be back with interviews with some nominees over the course of the next couple of hours, and back once again to bring you more awards results right here live from Killarney. Don't go away. Enjoy the evening. We'll see you soon. And we are back, this time with some nominees. I am joined by Athlone Musical Society's nominees Shane Kelly, Aoife Daigan and Celine Slevin. How are you, lads?
We're all good.
All good?
Yeah.
Enjoying festivities?
Absolutely, Taking it easy now,
Maybe a little too much.
Yeah. We're conscious of not making a holy show of ourselves on the stage, so
You've rallied well after yesterday, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Straight up, Adam, ready to go again.
Ready to attack the day. Love it.
Well, you're all nominated in different categories, but why don't you tell the viewers at home? You're nominated. So Shane, you are Best Singer, right?
Yeah, I'm up for Best Male Singer for Bobby Strong in Urinetown. So excited, looking forward to it now. It's been a while since I've been up on the stage, so remembering how to walk correctly will be a bonus.
Yeah, and was this your first sort of toilet-themed musical, or have you done others?
Strangely enough, I'm working on the writing of a new toilet-based musical at the moment. It's going to be called Urine City.
Right.
It's actually going to be the follow-up, so yeah, it's going well at the moment.
The unauthorized sequel.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, looking forward to that. Obviously, there is a bit of trepidation involved when you're nominated. Has it gotten in the way of the appetite at all?
Yes. Personally, yes, but hopefully we might pick into something in a few courses' time.
Well, you were nominated for playing Little Sally, of course, in Urinetown. I mean, Little Sally, despite the name, is quite a big role.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about her.
Well, I'd say it was probably the most fun I've ever had on stage, because I just got to let my inner child out, and it was just great crack. I could do whatever I wanted. There was no boundaries, really, which was great. So, yeah, it was just so much fun from start to finish.
And it's a sort of a strange show in that it's complete, there's an awful lot of humour, but it's a very satirical style. So was there a bit of a challenge in trying to find that maybe different kind of almost sort of sardonic style of humour, or was it kind of an easy find for you?
I would say it definitely came easier to others.
Wow. There were absolutely needless shots fired. Listen, I appreciate drama during the live stream, absolutely.
We don't have beef, I promise. We like each other.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's what people who have beef would say, though. So.
Yeah, I'm not quite buying it. Celine, obviously, from what we're hearing, a tense time backstage, but you weren't involved in any of that. You were focused on the programme, which Athlone is nominated for. And Athlone has a history of strong showing in this category. What is involved in getting a Best Programme nomination? How do you get it over the line? Because people tuning in at home from different musical societies will want to be bringing home that gong next year. So give away the trade secrets is what I'm saying.
Tell us.
So, I know, I was involved in the show as well. I was on stage, but the programme genuinely, for the last 2 years, I've been involved in programme design, and I always tried to be like, this is something I'm doing it. And then I had a few people on board. Mags came on board, and she just supplied so much great content for the programme, and all I had to do was put the design to it. But programme isn't just about going, throw that there. We have a meeting. We talk about what's the message of the show. Let's talk about the producers of the show. What's the whole message, and then let's tell the audience that. So it's not just here's our show, here's the guys that are in the show, here's our sponsors and advertisers. It's here's the background, where the story came from, and putting that all together and bringing design to it. And I am just so happy to be nominated for this year. Honestly, it makes me feel so good. I'm a graphic designer by trade, so to me, this is just absolutely massive.
And how long did it take you to put the pieces of toilet paper into the program?
I was going to ask, whose brilliant idea was it to have the single ply in the back of the programme now?
Was it single ply? You went the cheapest option possible. Listen,
no, honestly, we did. I decided that was one of the options we should do, and we also printed it on recycled paper.
Okay.
Bringing more of the whole sustainability, yes.
Yeah.
But the toilet paper, we sat down one of the nights before dress rehearsal or something, and we were watching the rugby, and all hands on deck. There was glue dots. There was toilet paper going round the room. It was great crack.
The circuit system just going around, next and tear and go. Love it. Love it. They're the kind of wild moments that you're like,
what are we doing?
Did you take a break in the middle? You're like, lads, why are we doing this as our hobby?
Am I gluing toilet paper to a programme?
If you had to explain it to somebody in work the following day, it'd be a disaster. Look, You're in Town, I suppose, is one of those shows that I love. Newbridge did it, and I was part of it. Both of us were part of it back in 2019. It's great to see societies do shows that are a little bit maybe off the beaten track or a little bit new. Do you feel it's beneficial when you're going on stage to be part of something that maybe not that many actors or actresses have gotten a cut at the parts before, so you're a little bit fresh with it?
Yeah, I think that is the case with Urinetown in particular, and I have to give a nod to you guys. The first time I saw Urinetown was actually your version, which was excellent. It was so good. I fell in love.
Correct.
That opening scene. That opening scene, I was going, whoa, what's this? Because I hadn't seen it at all. But I also think it's important for people to do unique shows like that so that can happen. So they can see them and go, oh, hold on, maybe we could do that. And take it on and just make it your own and have the crack, which we had from start to finish.
And I think because not as many societies have done it and not as many people have seen it, it's more of a challenge to take it on because you don't have much source material to kind of compare it to. So I suppose that's another thing, I don't know.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Shane, Aoife, Celine, we won't keep you from dinner any longer. Thank you very much for talking to us, and best of luck later on. Fingers crossed for you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Talk to you soon. And we are back, and this time we are joined by yet another nominee, Michael Anthony Green, nominated for Best Director of Mitchelstown Musical Society's production of Sweeney Todd. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm absolutely thrilled to be back here down at Ames this year. Third time's the charm, hopefully. See, don't know, I doubt.
Well, we'll have the fingers crossed. But It's exciting to actually finally meet you because listeners to the podcast might remember that you were featured on one of our episodes where we asked people to give a shout out to the best musical theatre performances that they'd ever seen in this country. And we had one very enthusiastic listener email us in. And you were involved in the production of Bear with the then named CIT Musical Society, now Munster Technological University Musical Society. Say that 10 times fast. And that performance really just stuck with him because he just said, look, it was full of emotion. It garnered a huge audience reaction. I mean, I suppose just before we get on to Sweeney Todd, you know, was that one of your first forays on stage? Were you a veteran at that point, or?
It was a bit of a wild one. First of all, thanks, Dad, for sending in that message. That was very good of you. He's good like that. I suppose I've been kind of dabbling on the amateur circuit for quite some time, and first lead in MTU, first time with that group, and bit of a wild show, bit of a big show. It was an experience. And coming down here to Ames that year was, again, very overwhelming for the first year.
Was that your first Ames, was it?
First Ames, so I'm settling in a small bit now. We're feeling a lot more at home now. Please, thank God.
Obviously, you are here with listen, Bear has some very dark moments in it. You're here with also a dark show.
Yes.
You directed Sweeney Todd with Mitchelstown Musical Society. A lot of people will obviously know Sweeney Todd quite well, probably Stephen Sondheim's most famous show, certainly his show that gets performed most in this country.
Sure.
What were the challenges with it? I mean, how did you approach direction for this one? Where do you start with a piece like that?
Yeah, I suppose it's an interesting one. Picking dark shows, obviously, I feel like that speaks volumes about my character. I might want to go check myself after this award ceremony.
Next year you'll be doing Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde next year, just to keep things PG. It was my first year this year with Mitchelstown Musical Society. So obviously when you're coming into a new group, it is very difficult to figure out what's going to work for the group and what's not going to work for a group. I suppose I had experience with Sweeney Todd in the past. So I played Toby in the UK and Irish tour when I was younger. So I knew the piece, and I think from there I kind of told myself, everything that we did, I don't want to do at all.
Oh, wow.
So we did a very contemporary approach to Sweeney Todd this year. The Sondheim estate were really, really good to us. We got to make loads of additions. Spoilers, we ended up killing our poor Toby at the end of the show.
Wow.
Who was a lovely, lovely little boy. Hello, Gasper. Hi, Mom. It
must be difficult to replace him every night. The run.
Very difficult to replace him. I'm so sorry, Mitchelstown. Your population is decimated after that. It won't happen next year. But it was a very challenging role, and I had a fantastic team with me the entire time. I had Robbie Pender, our musical director, and Marie Kelleher, our dance captain, who really, the whole way through the process, had my back. I'm a very young director. I'm absolutely thrilled to be up, really honoured to be nominated this year. First time being adjudicated as a director at Ames. So, yeah, let's see what's to come. But it was a very, very challenging show. We worked very, very hard, and my cast and my team, my crew were all incredible throughout the process. So it kind of made things a lot easier for my first year there. Hopefully I'm back. Please hire me again. I need the work. I'm freelance. So.
Did you, I suppose you mentioned that you took a contemporary kind of approach to it. How did, I suppose, the wider members of the chorus, obviously, were they on board with it? Were they a little bit apprehensive? How did they approach it, or did they just dive right in?
Yeah, I think it's a strange one because you have a very tall, curly-haired, dumb-looking lad coming up from Cork City to the middle of Mitchelstown. So I do think maybe for the first week they were probably looking at me going, what in God's name, who is this boy and where have we got him from? But to be fair to them, by about week 2, the lads just went head first into the project. So it was very exciting. I never felt any pushback or really, really just an incredible experience being down there with Mitchelstown. Thrilled.
Amazing.
Absolutely. I mean, wonderful to see. I suppose, what do you think is next? What would you like to do next? I know Dan is pitching Legally Blonde here, but obviously, look, you've brought a number of different changes or ideas to the table with Sweeney Todd. I mean, what other titles out there do you look at and you go, I would love to put my spin on that or my particular take on that?
100%. Well, I suppose no spoilers, but we are down to our top 2 shows at the moment. Mitchelstown, which is very exciting. I hope I won't get killed by our chairperson who is here somewhere. But I think next for Mitchelstown might be the Irish premiere of the SpongeBob SquarePants musical.
Wow.
So we are going to do a full 180 this year and do something completely different. Just to prove to my mom that I am okay mentally and I can do happy things. I'm a very happy person.
So you won't attempt to kill anybody off in that one, is that what you're saying? But no promises. No promises. Can't guarantee. Yeah. Well, listen, Michael, it has been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. I wish you the best of luck tonight. Just to say that we do want to hear your voice tonight. Get on the AIMS24 hashtag or get in touch with us directly at the Oddcast by Odd Theatre on Instagram or Facebook, or at the Oddcast by Odd on Twitter. We will be back very shortly with more action right here from Killarney. See you soon. We are back here in the INEC Arena in Killarney as we continue the AIMS Awards 2024. The festival atmosphere is turning into something of a bit of a riotous carnival.
Yeah, it is. It's a festival of light and sound behind us, as you can see. The music is blaring.
The napkins are flying. I mean, this crowd doesn't take much to get going anyway. So, but you literally put on Pippin, and this crowd will go bananas.
They are easy to encourage. I see beside me Gulliver flag, so Gulliver Boo over here.
Yeah, the tribe are waving their flag in full force. Willie is off to something very important there. Headset on. I think he realizes he was supposed to be somewhere else when this started.
Well, there you go. But we all have places to be. But it is going wild here. We're a few moments away from the nominees being called to their seats. Rows A through to G, it looks like. They've prime seating.
They have indeed.
VIPs here tonight.
Yes.
We have, I think, is it 73 nominees in all across 65 different shows?
Yep.
So it is absolutely going to explode here in a few moments.
There's going to be, the volume will hit new decibel records, given we have the record crowd that are here.
Exactly,
It's going to be louder for us with our, as we mentioned earlier, invasion. We have a rowdy bunch of Midlands and Galway heads very close to us.
Yeah.
I'm sure they won't be minding their P's and Q's while they're cheering on their nominees.
No, but I see some perimeter control standing by here, so we might be able to instill some level of order in the place. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the bigger stories from this year's AIMS nominations.
So obviously, we mentioned briefly earlier, Sean O'Callaghan is dual nominated in the Young Performer category, and that his dad, Dermot, is nominated as Best MD as well tonight. So, the odds look good for an award making its way home to that household.
Yeah.
But you never know. But Sean isn't the only double nominee tonight.
No.
We've got Gavin Maloney, He's nominated for Best Comedian for his performance in Crybaby with Malahide, and for Best Singer as Freddie Trumper in Chess with Dunleary. And then we also have Jay Organ, who is double nominated for playing the same part in Calendar Girls.
Yes, in 2 different productions, one's with Bravo, one's with Fun Home.
Yes.
And I mean, that has to be some kind of achievement. I feel that has to be the first time we've seen that
it's
before.
It's definitely a record of some kind. It's certainly an achievement, but I'm sure it's a record of some kind.
If there's a predecessor and we haven't been able to root it out, then I have to question whether it exists.
Yes. And then, I mean, we also have some societies with piles of nominations. I think leading the pack is a tie. I think it's Galway, Mitchelstown and North Wexford who are all on 5 or 6 nominations
6 each,
apiece.
I think,
So it makes it interesting, though, this year, because obviously, there usually might be one society that kind of leads the way. There seems to be a pack of a few that have all got the same kind of number. Makes it very hard to tell where the awards are going to go and who ultimately is going to walk away with the top prize.
Absolutely. And we have bags and bags of first-time nominees this year. We have first time that parts are being nominated forever. You know, parts like Mr. Bumble in Galway, which Niall Conway is nominated for. That's not a show that came out today or yesterday.
No.
And yet Niall is the first man to get a nomination for playing that part. You know, we probably have easily a quarter of all the nominees this year are individuals who are first time nominated.
Yeah.
So, you know, the excitement will reach fever pitch. Yeah, for sure.
You know, absolutely, because I just hear the call behind me, and the first group of nominees are taking their seats at the front of the stage. So the butterflies are going from fluttering to soaring.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, you know, Dan, you're obviously a 2-time Ames Award winner. I hate to bring it up. But the first time up there, I mean, what did it feel like?
You know, this part right here is lovely. You know, the whole kind of coming up and taking your seat, that's when it really builds. You know, we were talking to Shane and Eve earlier on, they were saying they were a little bit nervous, you know. And I think as the evening builds, you know, you can't get nervous. But this bit right here, where you're going up and like you're taking your seat, you're surrounded by everyone who's in the exact same boat as you. And it just becomes very real.
Yeah.
The excitement reaches fever pitch, and it's just so lovely to get your seat down there. I mean, in terms of once you're down there as a nominee, it flies by. Like, in fairness, a well-drilled team. They are getting you up, you are moving along. It's like a conveyor belt. So this bit here, though, they'll enjoy this a lot. They really will.
But of course, it won't just be the nominees who have butterflies right now, because we are, you know, not that far away from the opening performance, which is this year by the Eastern region.
Very exciting.
And there have been locked lips over the course of the weekend about exactly what is going to be featured in the performance.
Very much so.
At least I have been met with a wall of defence when I've inquired. Maybe there were other areas of the bar where the secret was being spilled happily.
Maybe your investigative journalistic skills need brushing up. I mean, I have my suspicions, because last night we had a theme here, Pure Imagination.
Oh, yeah.
Which was from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, depending your pick. And we had a variety of links to that movie on display in costumes. Some links more tenuous than others.
Yes. Well, I mean, you know, self-praise is no praise, but I have to give a shout out to the Newbridge Musical Theatre, Odd Theatre Company crew, where we were Delta Noom Palumpas, which made the connection between Legally Blonde and Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
You know, I have to plum us ourselves there.
Yeah. I did see some characters from Toy Story walking around last night, and I was tempted to ask, but
what is the link?
But I thought better of it.
Yeah.
But
yes.
Perhaps we might see some of that reflected in tonight's performance by the Societies of the Eastern region.
Quite possibly. I'd say that's a solid bet now. That we might get a little bit of pure imagination might turn up there.
Yes.
But they've been very tight-lipped. I have to say, all of them. You know. Given, you know, musical side of me, but I wouldn't say they'd be the best at keeping secrets.
No, we saw evidence of that earlier with Michael O'Gorman.
Oh yeah. No, the easiest way to get something around is to tell a musical society member and ask them to keep it a secret.
Yeah. But speaking of the Eastern region, or at least geographically Eastern, you know, we have the two leading counties in terms of nominations. You know, if you're like the Bravo crowd beside us waving a county GAA flag, we have both Kildare and Wexford tied,
each with 17
nominations spread across those musical societies.
Yeah, it's funny because obviously on the day of nominations, obviously they take place in New Ross. There's a strong Wexford contingent in the room, and obviously they had a lot to cheer for, but I think everyone assumed that, oh my God, everything's going to Wexford. And then is when we ran the numbers that we saw, oh, actually, hold on, Kildare as a county has the exact same number of nominations as
and
well.
Dublin not far behind,
and Dublin
15.
very close behind. So while it may have felt that way on Nom Day, there's a lot to play for. There's a lot of nominations doing rounds in the counties. So
yes, of course. Yeah, I think there's a good spread geographically. I mean, we already mentioned Mitchelstown and Galway, you know, with plenty of nominations towards the west and south of the country. You know, there are some first-time nominated societies up towards the north. I think Letterkenny Musical Society have got some of their first nominations. You've got Londonderry, you've got quite a few as well, you know, who are no strangers. Yes. They are going for their third best visual in 4 years.
Well, I mean, let's just talk for a moment about the bottom of the innings and best overall show, because obviously that is the big one tonight. So Who are we looking at in the Sullivan section in Best Overall Show?
Yes, so in the Sullivan section, we've got 9 Arch nominated with Kinky Boots. If viewers of this stream will remember that they won or were nominated for Little Shop of Horrors
That's right.
in 2022. So this is their second nomination and their second in a very short span of time. And Kinky Boots, as a show, was nominated for Kilcock's production last year for Best Overall Show. We also have Killarney, so back at home in the INEC.
That's it.
Nominated for their production of Michael Collins, a musical drama.
The most Irish of all shows.
Absolutely, and it is the 4th nomination for Killarney, and it is also the 7th nomination for Michael Collins.
Michael Collins is just one of those shows that adjudicators seem to love.
Absolutely.
When it comes up, it tends to do well.
Absolutely, it does. I mean, another favourite is Sweeney Todd. We've talked about that already. Mitchelstown's production there. Northeast Musical and Dramatic Society. They are nominated for Ulster Gup. And another North of Wexford, nominated for their production of Rent. So I mean, there's great variety in terms of the genres there and styles. You know, Ulster Gup and Sweeney Todd could nearly not be more different as shows go.
And who are we looking at for the big award on the Gilbert side of the house?
So in the Gilbert section, the first nominee is David Hennessy, Musical and Dramatic Society. They're doing Beautiful, the Carol King story. First time that show has been performed. It was the Irish amateur premiere of it. So, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the show. So, me personally, I'm delighted to see shows like that getting recognised. And this is their second Best Overall nomination in a row. Actually, last year they were up for Bonnie and Clyde. And they are back again this year with Beautiful. And a kind of similar story then as well. Maynooth University are also nominated. They are nominated for their production of Cats this year, but again, second year in a row. They also were nominated for Best Overall last year for their production of Into the Woods. So we got a couple of societies doing 2 for 2. And then the remaining space is kind of old stalwarts, I think is best to say, for Best Overall. So we have Leaksip Musical and Variety Group. They're nominated for the producers. They were nominated a couple of years ago for Addams Family, and of course they won Best Overall Show 2 years in a row, back in 2017, 2018 for Legally Blonde and West Side Story. We also have Galway Musical Society nominated for their production of Oliver.
Yes.
And this is their 10th nomination for Best Overall. So and again, they were nominated, I believe, last year as well for their production of Rent.
Yes, correct.
So exactly. We've got, I mean, the same old faces turning up. And then,
100%.
Speaking of same old faces for Best Overall, we have the mighty Wexford Light Opera Society and their production of Phantom of the Opera. Their 13th nomination for Best Overall Show.
13.
Wow.
Hopefully lucky for some.
Hopefully lucky for some. Absolutely. Well, I'm just getting word in my ear that we are about to go down to the Eastern Region Societies for their performance opening tonight's show. I encourage you, stay tuned, get on the chat, get on the Ames24 hashtag, and we will talk to you very soon. Well, you heard Fergal the first time that we finished before midnight. We went through the awards at breakneck speed, and we got there in Cinderella time.
Exactly, just in time before we all turn into pumpkins for the night.
Absolutely. I mean, what an incredible evening of celebration of Irish musical theatre. 2 very different winners in Best Overall Show. Rent, very modern piece, very rock styling. The other side of the coin over on Gilbert, we have a winner with Phantom of the Opera, a classic, one of perhaps the most classic and classical shows that you can have.
Yes, 100%. You know, famously, you know, the clue is in the name, Phantom of the Opera. It's very different to Rent with its kind of gritty rock stylings. Phantom of the Opera has got that much more sweeping, melodramatic story and score. But
no, it was great. But like you said, it was so many different winners tonight. It was lovely to see just such a rain right across the country. You know, because in fairness, it kind of, when we saw all the nominees there for Best Overall Show, it was like, I feel like it's a while since we've had these on stage. So it just goes to show the vast breadth of talent right across the country. Unbelievable to watch. A great night.
And a huge night for Wexford Theatre in particular. So many awards have gone down to the sunny southeast this evening.
yes, absolutely, including both Best Overall Show wins. Yes.
Absolutely. Now I'm going to invite in the man himself, Vinny Osborne,
the man behind the live
showrunner
stream
extraordinaire for the Ames Awards. Vinny, how did it go this evening?
3rd place in the Sullivan section, never looked so good. We all got a bit excited. No, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. For me, it was the kids. And I think that's going to be probably the best moment for the next few years. Like, how can you not? And I have 2 young girls at home who could possibly be here one day, and you've twins, I believe you have twins?
I have twins, yeah, at home.
You're a bit further away than I am, but no, it's been great. Like, such a great team. Jason, Paul, Wayne, I could go on and on and on. They all know who they are. They all know I love them dearly. And you guys, from the times of masks and all that, and you stepped up for us, and you really made the whole thing at home so entertaining. I can't wait to watch you guys on Monday and see what you said, because I've no idea what you said. And Alana Hayes, who is the rock of what we put out on air. So just thanks to you guys, and thanks to everybody involved.
Thanks to Mil, Vinny. A huge thanks to you. Thanks to Jason, Alana, all of the team here this evening. Obviously, the party is really just kicking off here in Killarney, so you'll have to excuse us if we're going to partake of it. We will be back on the air with the Oddcast very shortly, so stay tuned to your Spotify, your Castbox, or wherever you listen to your podcasts for something on that very soon. We're going to take off. God bless. Good night. Thanks for tuning in. Bye from Killarney.